Welcome back to Barry Charles Harness, your one-stop shop for everything harness racing. And in this episode, we're going to talk about my tips from the weekend, how they went, were they good or bad. And then we're going to relay all the heats from the Inter-Dominions on Tuesday night. We're going to look at the latest news around the traps as well. And then we're going to do a big preview of the Albion Park fixtures on Saturday night, the big races, as well as my tips for Friday to Sunday racing. Let's get to it right here, right now at Barry Charles Harness. Well, folks, straight off the bat, I hope you got onto Patch at the $6 early on. He ended up being close to favourite in the end, well, third favourite. But you good specking there with Patch. Well, the other two favourites went guns a-blazing early. They sat back and rolled home and won, well, from Aldebaran. Sundowner continues to race well, and Love a Flare. But Hilarious Rain didn't get it done, but the shorter distance probably was against her. Ended up parked, and she ran a credible third, but it was disappointing in the end for punters of Hilarious Rain. Sammy's Ideal and Mildura had every opportunity, but could only run third. Was outclassed by the Rio Rock, simple as that. Racing Eyes was absolutely poor in Menangle, absolute rubbish. Maybe needs to go to the paddock after that performance, I suggest. You Call Me was huge after galloping again and winning and running second, and Max Smith and Mendes getting it done again, keeping on his winning way. Now, Mocha Francie, to be honest, should have won, had every opportunity, but was outclassed by Kylie's Life in the end. Well, let's get to it right here, right now. Let's have a look at Albion Park. What's happened on Tuesday night in the second round of heats? Well, Heat 5 saw, this was pretty much a procession with a little bit of fireworks early with Speak the Truth going to the lead. Deus Ex tried to get the lead, but was never a hope. And Pete Setso was trying to hold on, but he got the trail. Swayzee was able to get off the markers, and there's a few moves, but nothing major. And then Swayzee went boom at the 700 metre mark. But because they went so slow early, Speak the Truth just ran a fast 800 metres, which is easy to do at Albion Park, and seems to be there's no hope of winning from anywhere three wide generally against the top-notch horses. And Speak the Truth just went boom, ballistic, way too good for Pete Setso, and Swayzee battled into food when he got to the park position and battled on home for food. What does that mean for Swayzee? I've got no issues. Especially with the barrier draw he's got for the final heat. It's all going to come down to barrier draws for the final, but Swayzee is definitely still my top pick to win the race, because I think he has more strings to the bow, but it'll all depend on the draw on the final. I just really, with Future Sword fourth, I think outside of that, I don't see many of these horses are making the final. Rock and Roll Do, I don't even know if he wins, he's got a chance, but I'm surprised he's not scratched, but I guess they're trying to make some money for the trip, so that's why he's here. The only other horse in this is Can't Find a Better Man. Racing well enough, but just poor draws have just cost him this whole series, and it's probably going to cost him in the final heat that we'll talk about later. Heat 6 of this competition, well, other paces, this was a bit of a, didn't get a script, because everyone was expecting Better Eclipse to get it done. But Better Eclipse ended up sitting parked, with turning up leaning as expected. But Narano was right on the back of Better Eclipse and was able to get over the top of him in the end. It was a good win for Narano. Jason Gribson keeping on his winning way. He's one of the best trainers in Australasia, no doubt about it. Better Eclipse, he did well, but he's not going to sit parked and win the Inter-Dominion. What's my opinion of this race? I don't think you're going to find the Inter-Dominion winner out of this heat. I could be wrong. I think they all need to draw barrier one. Narano draws barrier one, he gets the opportunity to trail the right horse, he'll get every opportunity. He's an upset chance of winning the final, no doubt about it. For me, he's definitely an upset chance of winning the final. If, say, Swayzee and Leap of Fame go to war and he's on his back, I think he's the only one of these three that can get up and beat them. Better Eclipse, I think, needs to lead. I don't think he's a trailing type horse and being able to sprint over the top of him. I think he'll need to lead. It turned it up, probably the same sort of horse he needs to lead, and probably would pedal either way. If he trailed or lead, I think he's run better when he's led, to be honest, most of the time. So, but he would take the trail against those big guns, and maybe a first four hope in the final. But none of them to me seem a winning hope. I still think Swayzee and Leap to Fame are the two to look at The other heat, well, obviously, Swayzee. Um, I mean, not Swayzee, sorry. It's yeah. Yeah. To me, I just don't see. Do I see Blacks at dance? He had his chance from Little Playboy as well. Um, in their race, they were pretty good, but they're gonna find it hard in the final. I think to have any hope in the final. I just I find it hard to see any of them being able to do what they need to do to make the final. The final heat, to me, was pretty much a, what can you say? I think Our Money Rocks put the speed to burn. It was the surprise leader from Spirit of Saint Louis. Leap to Fame came around at the right time and set parked and won. But the question mark is, did he have to work too hard to win the race? Going forward, Leap to Fame, that's my question mark. He had to work hard to get there, and they went a pretty quick time. And the bad draw on Saturday gives him an opportunity to maybe relax and not actually try to win the heat. That's my opinion. That's what I'll be doing with Leap to Fame in the final heat, because the grand final is not this Saturday, it's next Saturday. So buyer beware in that race. I think Leap to Fame is not a shoe-in to win. Can still win from sitting back and flying home. I can still see that happening because there'll be a lot of tired horses. But I'd just be buyer beware on that horse in that big race. Yes, a little bit of concerns for me for Leap to Fame there. Yes, let's have a look at. So that was some of the heats here. Queen Elida and the like. Queen Elida had every opportunity to do what she did again, but had to work hard with Gus. There was a lot of pressure from Gus in this race to really put the pressure on early, and Gus just kept on attacking. Well, Olivici just sat behind the speed and really just had every opportunity. Olivici to get over the top of them. Queen Elida was good after the early burn, and Gus was good. Some disappointing runs out of the race was Constable down galloping, took them out of play. But Gus is the enigma of the series. He's a possibility to be the absolute boiler. I don't see him winning it, but he is absolutely going to make it life interesting if he makes the final. In the other heat, well, Plymouth Chap galloped at the start, but still managed to get back down and catch up. And before the start of the race, went to the lead. Just Believe sat parked, and Just Believe was just too good. But to be, so Just Believe clearly looks the horse to be in the series, but Plymouth Chap seems the only horse at this stage that can beat him on what I've seen. And Plymouth Chap will need a good barrier draw, not gallop at the start, and Just Believe off the second row. That will be his best chance, and probably try to work him when he comes around through. I think that's what he'll need to do if he wants to win the final. Plymouth Chap. Well, let's get to the news around the trips here in New Zealand, Australia. Will Rickson, congratulations, Sue, on your 500 winner at the ripe old age of 22. Doing it on Menangle on Saturday night. He did heaps of praise to his family, his mum and dad, and his extended family. It was a great touch, and it was good to see get the win and bring up 500. It's excellent work from you. David Aiken returned to his homeland, his own state, to win the Motor Group Charity City Cup with Max Delight. Absolutely great to see, and congratulations there too. And Kylie Sugars on her first Country Cups win at Starwell with one overall. Very good. Flew home at the end. Didn't look likely turning for him. It only looked like it was going to run second, but was huge in the finish to get up and win. Gloucester Park on Friday night. Wonderful to fly. Absolutely wonderful to fly, right? First horse, well, not the first horse, only 4 mares have won this race in the 4-year-old classic over the 46-year history. Just Doubting Hoppy's Way on the line. It was very exciting racing right there, right then. So that is just a little look at what the news around the traps has been this week. Now let's quickly get to my tips, and then we're going to do the Albion Park review. Bonnie Prince Louis, folks. Bonnie Prince Louis looks like a very good bet, and I think even from the wide draw should be winning the race. Rough and Ready was very disappointing last week, but if the Rough and Ready from New Zealand turns up, I think he might end up in the trail. He might push to try and lead, but if he gets the trail, he's a big chance in that race. Gloucester Park, I think Magnificent Storm just wins, folks. I don't know if you get much winning $1.10, but Magnificent Storm should be winning. And Instigator might have a chance to finally get a victory if he trails. If he trails up and comes up through the gaps, Instigator gets his chance. If we go to Saturday night at Menangle, we see Bravey Kelly get a good draw. She's a good each way bet with Mac Da Vinci, Balraj, Magician and the likes in that field, so that'll be an interesting contest. And I think Alta Orlando gets his chance to come back into the winning circle. And a much weaker race than he has been racing, and this is his chance to get up with Roll Up and Longfellow looking like the main dangers for him. We go to Mountain, Hot Deal, surely this is the time. I think it's something like 14 to 16 starts with only one win. Surely he makes it two in a very weak field. This is his chance to lead a win. He's got no excuses to me. Hot Deal should be winning. And Millennium in race 8 looks a good each way chance, even though he might end up being the favourite. But Millennium gets his chance. And at Hobart on Sunday, I think In the Air Tonight is going to get his first win in the 16th race start. He has no better opportunity to win here. And Leonard Skinner, a good each way better in the big race, has a chance to lead all the way and try and lead them in merry dance. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, let's get to it. Yes, let's have a look at what we the Inter-Dominion final heats. Yes, the final round 3. Who is going to make the final? Make next week's final. Yes, the first heat. There's a lot of speed to burn, folks. You got Morano drawing the one. Whether he wants to hold up, to speak the truth. That's going to be an interesting passage here early on. Spirit of the St. Louis from the outside draw making life hard for him. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting early, folks. Very, very interesting how that race goes, because there could be fireworks early, but it would be suicide. Black Sedans, How Many Rocks and Future Assured, Hot and Treacherous. All chances of making the final, but are going to need to do some work here. But to be honest, Turning Up is going to lead, folks. He should lead. Going to be interesting to know if Narano tries to hold or speak the truth. They're both going to be going early. And the question mark is also, does Spirit of St. Louis go out with Turning Up and try and get the lead off Turning Up? That's probably what I'll be thinking is going to happen. Doesn't mean it will happen. If he goes back, it might be hard luck stories, because we know Spirit of St. Louis is not a horse that sits outside the pegs and does any good. He has never really done it in any of his races. So he needs the pegs. So I think his best opportunity is to go hard and try and get the lead. I think Turn It Up's going to get the lead, and then there'll probably be a question mark of whether Narano speak the truth or Spirit of St. Louis get to the lead after that, and that's probably going to be nearly the winning of the race there. I can't see Turn It Up holding any of them. It's a possibility he could, but I just don't think so. When you're going, a horse is probably going to make the final. You don't want to be going to war and running last and not make the final, so I think Turn It Up will hand up on this occasion. So yeah, Jack Callahan's probably got to roll the dice and try and get the lead. If he does get that, I think he's a big chance of winning the race. If he goes back, no, not for me, Narano. I don't see him sitting parked and winning. But if they go very slow, it'll give him an opportunity. But I think Spirit of St. Louis just got to bite the bullet and go with Turn It Up early. I think that's his best opportunity, and to secure himself a place in the final, because if he doesn't run top 3, I believe, he won't make the final. So Spirit of St. Louis needs a big run. Yeah, Hot and Treacherous and Future Assured are going to need some luck from this draw. Very much going to need some luck. But at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting. If Spirit of St. Louis ends up in the lead, then I think he's a big chance of winning. But Narano, to me, probably has the chance to probably trail. And if he does that, depending on everything, he could try and lead as well, Narano. So if he leads all the way, he might be trying to make a statement tonight, Narano, and try and lead all the way. So it's going to be an interesting tactics early on for sure in that one. But yeah, Narano's my pick for that one. I think he's got more opportunities, even if he has to get out from the draw and follow the right horses. I think Narano has a big chance in this. The second heat's Swayzee. All the talkers are going to get crossed. I don't believe so. I think Swayzee's going to hold the lead. I think Tommy Lake and DSX could cross him, but it'll be suicide for their chances because they're both trying to make the final. I suppose that it's not really suicide because if they sit back, they won't make the final either. So there will be a little bit of fireworks early, but if Tommy Lake can do his DSX and crab into the trail, I think that's where they want to go. I think they should attack early and then try and get that trailing spot from Tim's the Trooper, I believe. I think that's the way they should look at it. Try and just push off there. Classy Washington has a poor wide draw, very poor for Classy Washington for a horse that's in the final at the moment, so he's going to need some luck from the bad draw. That'd be unfortunate. And you also got better Eclipse, depending on the early burn where he ends up. But yeah, he's got to come into the race at some point. But I expect Swayzee to just lead a win. If he doesn't lead early, he'll come around and get the lead back. I think he's the horse to beat. I think him a better Eclipse or good Quinella beat. And then whoever probably gets the trail, Tim's a Trooper, Tommy Lincoln, DSX, Karina Prolema probably could be 3 deep. The peaks, those are the horses you'd be looking at for the placings. But to be honest, Swayzee should win regardless, in my opinion, and make a statement towards the final. In the final heat, we got Pete said so. I think if you're really wanting anything else, I think Pete said so should be just rocking and rolling in this race. Drawn well again, so he gets his chance. But there will be some fireworks. This is a better sip, and Mr. McLaren all trying to lead, so won't get all the same way. And I think a rock and roll duel will eventually lead the race if he can handle the track. But the question mark is, will any of these horses hand up to him? I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting heat, that's for sure. Yeah, but Pete said they could lead and then hand up to Rock and Roll Do. If that happens, there's a big chance. But yeah, there's going to be a bit of fireworks early, that is for sure. In this heat, Leap to Fame, to me, will go back at the start and just rosy on up. No guarantee of that. He could try and lead as well, make a statement as well. But if I was him, I'll be sitting back in the field, smoking the pipe, come out at the 600 and just sprint home nicely. Just get him nice topped up for the final. I don't think they need a suicide mission run and try and win this heat, because I think they'll cost themselves any chance of beating Swayzee in the final. Leap to Fame, I just think just running home nicely in the end would be good enough. But yeah, so that's why I think punters beware. He could be driven cold in this heat. He can't find a better man. I talked about it earlier in the show. He's going to need some luck to make the final. He probably needs to run top 3 or 2 to make the final, so probably going to be pretty hard from that draw. But yeah, everything equal here. Yeah, Rock and Roll Do has a chance, but probably not racing good enough. Leap to Fame clearly should win the race, but I just have a bit of a caveat there. Pete said so. He's got to be a chance. It's going to be an interesting final heat, that's for sure. How that goes. Now, the heat 6 of the Trottoos. Yes, the heat 6 of the Trottoos. Sue Fahrenheit for the second race in a row. Gets the draw, the beautiful coveted draw. It probably should be enough for him to make the final, but I only pedalled in the straight last week. But this is pretty much an interesting one. It's who's going to lead this race. Between Queen Elida, Mufasa Metro, and Plymouth Chubb, there's going to be fireworks early. I can see Mufasa Metro getting across Queen Elida, but I think Queen Elida will want to lead, so it's going to be real fireworks. I think Queen Elida needs to take the sit tonight. I think he's worked hard in the series. I think his soft trip would be the perfect element, even if he's 3 back on the inside. Queen Elida just running home nicely. I think that's what they need, but I think Chris Alford might want to make a statement, so that's the question mark there. But either way, I think Plymouth Chubb's going to win. I think Queen Elida and Mufasa Metro, there should be a sweet trifecta. I think that'll be the way they'll finish, regardless, which Sue Fahrenheit gets every opportunity to run 4th. But to be fair, not much outside of that heat is a chance in the final. So that's really the way their race is going to go. But it's going to be interesting first 400 metres, that's for sure. In the final heat, 7, well, you just believe. How good is he? Gus is the enigma though, and that's what I said. Guz, can he really put some pressure on Just Believe, and we'll see how good he is. Adele, after the gallop last week, needs a top 3 or 4 finish. Drawing it outside the gate's going to make it tough. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Gus has to say. But at the moment, for the final, Just Believe looks the winner to me. Clearly, Plymouth Chubb is the next best, and then you got Queen Olotto and Gus. The only other winning chances, I would say, and then the paces, I think Swayzee and Leap of Fame are the top two. But there's a little sneaky chance from Murano, off of what I've seen, and maybe better Eclipse, but that'll be about it. Anyway, that's a Barry Charles harness. Have a great day out there, and I'll see you at the next video.